Hey guys, it's Lee from Outback Fencing. So today we're going to show you how to install a frameless glass pool fence with the core drill spigots. It takes a little bit more skill than your bolt down spigots, but I think once you master this, it's definitely the best way to go with installing your frameless glass pool fence. So before you even start, really you want to take a measurement from one end to the other and get your measurement perfect, and then go onto our website and go onto the frameless glass pool fencing page and find the calculator, the fence builder link, and basically type in your dimensions, type in where you want your gate and everything like that. And what the fence builder will do is tell you how many glass panels you need, how many spigots, and it'll also give you a little plan of where the glass panels need to go and the spacing between the glass panels, like how much you need between the glass panels. It'll work all that out for you. So first you want to get your plan, and if you come to the job site, probably a good idea to print it out. That's what I do. And so before I started this morning, I've actually gone along here and I've determined where I want to put the frameless glass pool fence. So I've measured from one end to the other, parallel to this curbing here on the pool where I want the pool fence to go. And I've used a chalk line and run it from one end to the other and flick that chalk line so you get a really nice straight line. And then obviously you go along with the tape measure and starting from one end here, and you have your pool fence plan with you, and then you just go with the measurements with your glass panels and the gaps, and you mark them all in pencil. You want to mark it in pencil because you don't really want to mark these pavers. So yeah, go along, mark it in pencil. Then you want to determine where your actual holes are going to go for your spigots, where your spigots are going to go onto the glass panels. So to do that, simple formula is whatever your glass panel is in width, divide that by 4, and that'll give you the measurement, how far you come in for your glass spigots. I've gone along then, I've actually marked in permanent texture because we're going to be core drilling the hole out anyway, every single spot where we're going to core drill. Alright, so what you're going to need for this job is a core drill. So we've got a core drill here with a stand. It's good to have a stand, it makes it a bit easier to hold and to slowly go down nice and level and plumb. So what I've done here is we're going to use the core drill, a 76 diameter core drill. You could probably just use a 70, but we use a 76, just gives you a little bit more of a play around. Now that because we're on some nice tiles here, I've just got a bit of timber to place this drill onto, so that way we don't scratch the tiles at all. And I've also just set up myself a little template. You don't have to have one of these, but it just makes it a lot easier to make sure you get the hole in the right spot when you start to drill. So that's pretty much it. But once you've got the water going on this core drill, it's really handy to have a wet dry vacuum. Now you can buy one of these at Bunnings. I think they're around about $100. But basically it's a good idea to have someone just sort of sucking up all that water, especially if you've got some nice decking and tiles around. You just sort of don't want to be able to have all this mess everywhere. So it's a really good idea to have this on hand. Especially once you've done the core drill as well, it fills up with water, and obviously before you put your cement in, you don't want it filled up with water in that hole, so that you just sort of suck that out with this. Just makes it for a nice clean job. Having the clean job makes it easy to do a good job. Alright, yeah, pull that out, eh? Oh, that's a nice size core. Alright guys, so when you're core drilling, we recommend you go down about 110 mil with the core, with your core drill. So what I do is I just mark on the core drill 110, and that way, yeah, you know when to stop basically, and then just give that core drill just a tiny little bit of a wiggle just to break the bottom off, and then you should be able to just pull that out. And if you have trouble getting this out, sometimes you can stick a bit of a well, first of all, you really want to make sure that that's broken with the core drill at the bottom here, And if you have trouble getting it out, sometimes you get like a coat hanger, a metal coat hanger, and put a little hook on it, get down underneath this when it's in there, and just give it a bit of a lift, and you'll be able to get it out. Alright, so when I'm core drilling, I like to use this little template here that I've made up, or you can actually buy one. So obviously we've got the stand here so we don't scratch the papers. Then you've got this little template which is the exact size hole of the core drill bit. And that way when you stand on that and it's nice and firm, it's not going to sort of bounce around. Therefore you're going to get, you know, your core drill is going to go in the exact spot that you need it to go in. Alright, so we've core drilled all the holes now, and what we're going to do is we're going to start getting ready to set up for putting our glass panels in place. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put our spigots in the correct spots where they need to go. Now, to work out where your spigots need to go, you work out the width of your panel. In this case it's 1550, and you divide it by 4. So it doesn't matter what panel you have, you divide it by 4, and then that's what you come in on the sides. So then you come in 390 center for this one. .390 center for that one. Now that they're in the right spot, what you want to do now is tighten these little grub screws with an Allen key, get them nice and firm and tight, and then we'll be ready to put this panel over into our stands, ready to get it installed. Right, so once you've got the spigots on and you've tightened the grub screws with an Allen key, you want to be able to put these cover plates on. Up nice and high, right up to the glass. And to hold them into place, put a little bit of tape on them. I'm just using a bit of painter tape just to hold them into place. Now the reason why you do that is that when you come to pouring your rapid set non-shrink grout into the holes, this sort of just holds them up out of the way. So you really want to be able to do that before you put them in. And what we used to do is we used to use timber bracing and water and concrete bags to hold the glasses in place, the glass panels in place. But what we do now is we've got these little we call them a glass mate, and basically you put these onto the glass now and you place them over here like what we've done over here. And what it allows to do is you can put all your panels in place and get them in a nice straight line, and you can adjust not only the height, but if you turn one threaded bolt, it actually tilts the glass ever so slightly. So what you could do is once you get all the glass panels in place, then you can make sure that the heights are all right, but then you can also tilt these so it's all in the right perfect position. Then once you get that, all the glass panels, you look down the line, the tops are all nice and level, and they're all nice and straight, and then everything's all nice and straight, then you can go along and pour the grout in. So that's what we're going to do now. But I'm going to put these on now instead of putting them on the ground and lowering them in. I'm going to put these on now because it just makes it so much easier to lower your glass panel into place, I find. But this is what we do. So let me flip. Good. So what you want to do now is look along the line, and And start probably with the first panel and make sure that it's all nice and level. And make sure the bottom's right with the chalk line that you've done before at the start of the job. So get it right at the bottom, get it level, and then just sort of run your eye and sort of play around with the levels and try and get all those glass panels all meeting up so you get a nice straight line that's really good to the eye. And by doing that, you just adjust these threaded rods on these glass mates, and yeah, have a bit of a fiddle around, get it all absolutely perfect, and then we'll be ready to pour our grouting and get that set. Right, so now we're ready to mix our grout. We've got a bucket here, a mixer, and we've got some Polaris ready set grout. This is fast setting, pourable grout. This stuff is non-shrink, high grade, and you want to work with it pretty quickly because it goes off, you know, within 15 minutes. Like, so you get a bit of working time, but it sets really quick, and it goes rock hard too. So you want to be able to mix the consistency so it's runny enough to pour into the core drill hole and then feel its way around the spigot. You want it super runny, but you don't want it. You definitely don't want it too dry because it's just not going to pour into the hole. So, all right. So we've poured in the grout into the spigot holes, and what we've done now is we've done actually a bit of a good cleanup. Always have a bit of a sponge handy and a wet dry vacuum just to clean up, and a hose running, you know, just to get rid of all that mess. So now we've actually gotten rid of the tape holding these in place, and they've just dropped really nice and flush now. And then also the you want to leave the grout for probably about an hour. And then what we've done is we've undone those glass mates and loosened them right off. And if you loosen them off enough, you can lay them down on their side and slide them out. Or if you've got enough gap, you can go through the middle here. But just be very careful not to bump the glass edges. But that's pretty much it. We've left that set now. And if there's any, if you need to make any tiny little adjustments, you shouldn't have to, but you can with the grub screws on the side of the spigot. But basically that's all done, and we've all cleaned up now, and we're going to put our gate in, and once that's done, our job is all done. Alright, so what we're going to do now is put on the Polaris gate. So these are especially good compared to the Master Range kit. These are soft closing hinges. Now they're quite easy to put together. There's a video on Polaris of how to install these. I suggest you go and look at that before you try and install one yourself. There's also instructions in the box. As you can see, you can open it up like this, and it should soft close when it gets near the end here. That's beautiful.